Thanks very much for allowing me to be here tonight. Patty Morris is the Executive Director of Wellspring Calgary, and hopefully she's not going to be seconded to you guys unless no talking to Bob while you're over there. And I'm here basically to try to raise awareness of the Wellspring message, and it sounds like a message that you guys have ably given to you through prostate in terms of prostate cancer and its therapies. So it's going to take a couple of minutes. My name is Gould. I'm a family physician in the city. I've got probably 25 to 30 patients that have prostate cancer at any time. A number of them have been through the program here and have found it very, very beneficial. And it's amazing the way this group is run. And Bob, you're an amazing guy to head that up for all these years. Wellspring Calgary, I tend to find that people remember about the first three things I say and about the last three things I say. So I'm going to say the same thing at the beginning and at the end of this discussion. So at least those things will be cemented in your mind. Wellspring Calgary is a new support agency for cancer patients and their families. And it's developed based on a program that was started initially down in Ontario for, again, support of cancer patients and their loved ones who are supporting them through the cancer journey. There are eight Wellspring groups throughout the country right now. Calgary's opened in March of '07, so it's been open and functioning for about a little over a year now. A couple of important things about the programs that we run down there. They are basically free to the patients who utilize them and supported through an endowment fund and monies that are raised as a non-profit agency as well. So the financial backing is there. There are lots of people who and professionals within the city who have determined that there is a need for the kind of care that Wellspring offers. What is Wellspring? Basically, it's a model of care for patients and families, and it has evolved as a group of programs that are offered to people who are find they have the diagnosis of cancer. There's the ability to get peer support for people, matching them with people with their type of cancer and their stage of cancer. There are group supports. There are a number of programs that are run, and these programs, a lot of them have medical backing in terms of their benefit to patients. So we certainly are not in any way negating conventional Western medicine and its importance. What we're trying to do is be an ancillary tool to try to help from the body, mind, spirits standpoint, allow a person to have additional tools to fight the disease and to develop a sense of wellness while fighting this disease, or these diseases, because there's a multitude of them. If you think back to, again, when the initial cancer diagnosis was given to you or loved ones within this room, you know, there's a feeling of fear, there's a feeling of uncertainty, there's a wonder about how long do I have and what is going to present itself. It's a very individual journey, and having a good, strong family support is there for a lot of us, but for others it isn't, and anything that we can do to help support people through this initial very difficult time, and then later on in the reintegration time where people have battled their cancer and had their therapy and then are reintegrating into life is very beneficial for people. We've found that out in multiple trials, that if we're dealing with spiritual health, the mental health component of it, as well as the chemotherapy, radiation therapy, surgical therapies for the cancer, that people have much better outcomes. John Staffier, who is one of the original startup men, there are basically three people who started Wellspring concept in Calgary. John went through a very difficult cancer battle many, many years ago, and found again that the conventional Western medicine that we get here is tremendous. And we have world-class cancer therapists. We have a world-class cancer facility in Calgary. Rarely do we have people that go afield and get their therapies elsewhere unless it's for a therapy that isn't available here for one reason or another. So we do strongly support the Western conventional medicine model, and we have a letter of support from Tom Baker in terms of their endorsement of our programs as well. People can come directly to Wellspring to access the services that are supplied by Wellspring. So they don't need to be referred by a physician, they don't need to be referred by the cancer agency. It's simply a matter of looking up Wellspring Calgary in the phone book, giving a call and setting up a time to come over and find out services. So just to take a quick run through the various services that are available through Wellspring. Again, we've got individual support where people may be matched with other cancer survivors with their cancer type. There are group supports where people meet in a group setting to talk about their fears and their feelings and try to determine how to make good decisions and to go forward. There are a number of wellness programs. These are things like yoga, qigong, tai chi, visualization and relaxation, meditation, and meaningful life therapy, which allow people to develop a strong sense of faith that they're doing everything that they can do to supplement the conventional Western medicine with again, good therapies that do indeed make a difference in terms of your immune ability and your ability to fight off the various types of cancer that can occur. There are expressive support programs, things like music, dance, art, journaling, which again, some people find is an important part of their ability to live with the disease. There's been body energy work, such as therapeutic touch, Reiki, reflexology, and healing touch. And then there's a library and services there. There also is a nursery in the facility. Patty will talk a little bit about the facility and what's on the upcoming in the next little while. But basically, we have one facility we're working out of now, and there's going to be a new facility evolving over the course of the next 12 months. And so there's going to be the ability for people to go access these programs and have their children looked after while they're in programs, so they're not having to worry about the child care component of it. There are spousal programs and family programs. So again, it's important to realize how integral the physical wellness and mental and spiritual wellness is in terms of battling cancers of all types. We're not out to take over the turf of any other cancer agencies or other agencies within the city. So if there are good resources like prostate and a lot of the breast cancer supports that are out there, the common cancers that are well supported financially, then we're not trying to infringe on the territory of these groups. I mean, these groups do a tremendous job. We support them wholeheartedly. We're there for people who feel that they would like to embrace these types of therapies for their own wellness, and again for family members who would like to embrace these types of therapies as well, to help support them through the difficult time from diagnosis through till completion of therapy and again reintegration into life. Thus far there have been I think around 250 to 300 clients that have utilized the services, and a number of them have utilized a number of the different programs. And we're looking for people to be able to help out. You guys are already, here I am preaching to the converted. You guys already understand the concept of having support in a group setting like this, learning as much as you can about the disease, learning about the therapy options. A lot of people don't have that capacity because they have rare or infrequently seen cancers. And it's important to have other programs out there that allow the other people of the population with cancer to get that kind of assistance. So the important things from my standpoint is that, again, this is an ancillary form of cancer therapy. This is a medically proven benefit. And again, some people will find certain aspects of this really appeal to them and others don't. And what we need to find is that an individual pursuit for the individual program that's going to work best for every individual. So you may find certain things that make sense to you, other things that don't. You're welcome to pick and choose what you wish. Again, the program is fully funded, so there's no cost to the patients. Again, it's a self-referral or physician referral or referral from a friend. So just the fact that you know about this program, I think it's going to be important for you to be able to say, if you have a friend who becomes diagnosed with cancer or needs some additional support, they have the capacity to come and talk to the people at Wellspring and see if we can support them in some way. Patty, do you have some things you'd like to add to that?
Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much for having us here this evening. And I just wanted to echo Dr. Gould's remarks that we're very impressed always to hear about what's happened with prostate and the great support group that you've created, and see it very much as a model for some of the work that we're doing. So congratulations and thanks. I just wanted to add to what Dr. Gould was saying, just to mention that we have brochures, our program calendars just outside in the lobby, as well as our annual report and our most recent newsletter. And as you'll see when you look at that, and as Dr. Gould has said, we have such a wide range of programs that are happening, all of which are free of charge. And one of the most frequent comments that we hear from people after they get involved with Wellspring is, I wish I knew about this sooner. Why didn't I find out about this? So we're working really hard right now to get the word out and appreciate the opportunity to tell you. And as Dr. Gould said, would ask you to think about letting others know as well. And obviously, once you have some confidence in Wellspring, but it's great for us just to be able to put the word out because it exists so that people can benefit, and we're anxious to make sure that people know about us. The only other thing that I wanted to mention to you is we, because we are fairly small and can be very responsive to who we call our members, anyone who comes to use our services, we're very anxious to make sure that we hear from people about the programs that would make sense for them, and are particularly interested to hear from men about programs that make sense to you. We currently have, unlike other Wellsprings who have a very small proportion of men, we actually have a fairly good representation of men that participate in our programs. But are finding too that there are certain programs that seem to appeal more. For instance, our exercise class, which is one that's done in concert with the University of Calgary and the Faculty of Kinesiology, some of the research that they're doing around exercise and cancer. That's one of the programs that tends to be more attended by men. But we're really open to other program ideas that might particularly appeal to men. And so certainly feel free tonight or at any point to connect with us and let us know. One of the benefits, as I mentioned, is I think we can be very responsive and can create programs that make sense to people and respond to needs. So we welcome your comments around that. And I think that's it. If there's any questions that people have for Dr. Gould, if this is appropriate for us to ask him.
You know what the next slide says is questions.
One question, is any connection between Wellspring Calgary and the group in the States going by the same name? I want to ask this, but the first triggered you people, I Googled, and I think it was in Ohio or someplace that came up in top of the list.
No, actually, we are affiliated with the Wellsprings in Ontario, and those were created about, I think about 15 years ago by a cancer survivor and her oncologist. And then since then, as Dr. Gould mentioned, there's 8 Wellsprings across most of Eastern Canada.
So it's coincidental.
Yeah. There's also a Wellspring apparently in Calgary, but
no.
Yeah, it's a business. Yeah. Yes.
I'd like to mention that I participated in your exercise class at Julia.
Yes.
There's 5 men, virtually all with prostate cancer, to the best of my knowledge, and a group of women. And Monday nights, 6:30, you can't ask for a better exercise mix than what you're presenting.
Julia's a lot of fun too. Usually when I walk past that class, there's just laughter erupting from the room. Dr. Gould had said that I was going to mention to you something that's on the radar screen for us, and I forgot, and that is presently our facility is just down in Parkdale. We're on Parkdale Crescent, right across the street from the Lazy Loaf and Kettle. And it's been a great space. We're appreciating it very much. But we've had this remarkable thing happen, which is Karma, the developer in Calgary, in celebration of their 50th anniversary, has built a house for Wellspring. And so we've had this very dramatic start to it, where they brought all of their employees from across North America, 350 of them, together for a day, and they actually erected the house on this day. It was like a barn raising. And so we started with the subfloor, and at the end of the day we had a 2-story house with roof and windows, and it's quite beautiful. It's in Montgomery. And now it's construction as usual, so we'll probably move into that home in January. And of course, the wonderful thing about it being that one, that it's a home. We work really hard to make sure that Wellspring feels like home when you come. But the other is that it's been designed really to respond to our program needs. So it's quite a lovely gift, and hope that you'll have a chance to come either to the opening or to some of the programs there once we get started.
Excellent. Yes.
Your brochure, you've got your January to May 08 book one. Do you have new ones?
I did. I'm sorry. Yes,
Okay,
I
good.
brought some new ones there.
Great.
Yeah.
I brought the old one.
I came behind him.
That was actually just to show that there is a whole array of programs that are available.
Fabulous.
Sorry.
Good recovery.
Very good. Any other questions?
questions? Okay, thank you very much for the
Thank you very
opportunity.
much, Pat.